Hi, my name is Emilee Guevara, and I am a Canadian citizen. I became interested in or passionate about kind of what's happening to the Palestinian people in university when I was exposed to different activist groups or Muslims for peace and justice. And also, I have an interesting background. My mother her family's from Europe, so Scotland, Ireland, but my father is half Filipino and his other half is Cree Métis, so native to this land, which was called Turtle Island before it was called Canada. So I started to learn these last few years about the history of my own people, my own ancestors, and their struggle to exist and for their own rights and freedoms to express their culture and to prosper and survive. And if you know anything about the history of Canada, you know that that hasn't been such a lovely go for these people and for my family members as well. So in learning about kind of the struggle for land rights and for your rights to different freedoms, I was able to relate that to the struggle that the Palestinian people have been facing for a long time now. I'm not as aware of the historical, political, every single fact, but I know the basics of what's going on right now, and I know that we have an oppressed people and we have an oppressor, and I know that there are many complex reasons as to why Israel, funded by the US and Canada and other strong governments, is able to treat these people in the way that they've been treated for so long now, living under occupation, under just atrocious conditions. And to me, it breaks my heart open. As a compassionate, empathetic woman, I believe that we need to learn how to stop and slow down and stop throwing rhetoric and propaganda and just untrue facts, false facts around, and start actually looking at the reality of the situation, which is that there are so many innocent people who are caught in the midst of this, and that through lying and through ignorance and lack of awareness and hate, these things are able to continue happening. So I have hope that with the internet the way that it is today and the way that we're allowed to kind of share information at a rate that we've never been able to before, that people are going to experience a reawakening or some type of mental clarity and be able to see the truth of the matter and the severity of the matter, especially right now as hundreds are being killed every day. So I am someone that I stand with the people in Gaza, I stand with the Palestinians in their struggle for their basic human rights, for their rights to their land, for their rights, for Palestinians' rights to go home, to be reunited with their families, to live in peace and not under this oppressive regime. It's absolutely ridiculous, and we have the power within ourselves as hopefully enlightened and involved people to be able to make this a reality. So I say shame on our Canadian government and our politicians for being cheerleaders to these war crimes and for vocally supporting and funding these war crimes. And I say shame on the people who choose to remain silent, because for me, silence is no longer an option, never has been an option. But silence is how genocides happen, and we've seen that throughout history. And I hope that we are able to learn from these things and to really reach inside of ourselves and ask us, what is our role? How are we responsible for our governments, for our communities, and how can we bring the struggle of our brothers and sisters into our own homes and our own workplaces and our own communities? Because although many people feel very disconnected and maybe unaware of certain things, a lot of Canadian citizens I know have voiced this. It's no longer an excuse, because the information is there and people are willing to share their stories and they're asking for help. And I think that we have a responsibility to at least become aware and then to find out what exactly we need to be doing about this, because stepping back is not an option. So I pray for Gaza, and I pray for all of us, because we are being spiritually and emotionally traumatized with these things that are going on, and we need to come together now more than ever and really look at how we can start shifting our consciousness and start finding compassion for each other, for our brothers and sisters. My name is Emilee Lauren Guevara, and I am Palestine.